It's a red tide and it's edging toward revolution. Nothing like it has been seen here for 20 years. Monks today leading 100,000 demonstrators against one of the most repressive regimes in the world. And the world is watching. It may be the perfect storm. Monks braving the elements and their military rulers to give voice to the frustrations of 50 million people who've seen their country become one of the world's poorest. The protests began with anger over fuel prices, but they've escalated. And this was the turning point. The first sight in 4 years of the woman who won an election landslide long ago and has been a prisoner almost ever since, greeting the protesters. Aung San Suu Kyi has been under arrest, behind her gate or in prison for 12 of the last 18 years. She has demanded democracy, and now the monks are marching for it. But the Oxford-educated Nobel laureate knows there have been false dawns before. 19 years ago, protests were crushed when the army killed 3,000 people. Now the army is threatening action against the monks. They plan more marches. The stage is set.
Troops have been evident on the streets of Myanmar's former capital Yangon throughout the past week of mass pro-democracy demonstrations. Tens of thousands of Buddhist monks and their supporters went on the march again on Tuesday in defiance of a threatened crackdown by the ruling military junta. As the demonstrations ended peacefully for the day, troops and armed police poured into central Yangon surrounding a key shrine. Myanmar's military leaders called an emergency meeting over the biggest protests against their rule since the mass uprising they crushed in 1988. In another possible sign of approaching confrontation, a well-placed source says the detained democracy icon Aung San Suu Kyi was shifted from house arrest into the country's notorious insane jail on Sunday. If that's true, the move would deprive the protesters of a crucial focus. State-run television news has been reporting the week of demonstrations but blamed the crisis on troublemakers.
A group of internal and external destructionists who can bear to see peace, stability and development in Myanmar are causing the above incidents.
International appeals for a peaceful resolution are growing amid fears that the junta will resort to violence as in 1988. An estimated 3,000 people died then as the ruling generals crushed nationwide pro-democracy demonstrations. Paul Chapman, Reuters.
At least 2 monks have been killed in the crackdown on protests in Myanmar. That's according to a monastery official. The violence comes as security forces move to disperse the biggest anti-junta demonstrations in 20 years. Troops have fired shots over the heads of a large crowd in central Yangon, sending people scurrying for cover. Tear gas has also been used to disperse monks trying to push their way through barricades sealing off the Shwedagong pagoda. The site is Myanmar's holiest Buddhist shrine and has become the focal point for a week of mass marches against decades of military rule. The crackdown by Myanmar's ruling generals is being condemned around the world.